meet all of you. I'm going to give you just a quick overview of the Insights Association, why we exist, what we're all about. And I think you'll see a real cohesion with the AMI Club and its mission. And so this is a nice, I think, segue into sort of the next phase of what your professional career might be. So the Insights Association formed in 2017 through the merger of two much older, long-standing insights market research related association. The mission of IA, as I'll refer to it going forward, is to protect and create demand for the evolving insights and analytics industry by promoting the indisputable role of insights in driving business impact. So if you think about AMI's mission, you know, to sort of get a grasp on the importance of insights, market research, data analytics, and how it touches on so many things that we do in life, in business, and what, you know, the insights are sort of the end result, right, of that market research or the data analysis that then we can put into, that we can then execute against to make decisions for business. So that's really the purpose of this association. We are, you know, there's an association in the world for everything. If you're a golfer, there's a golf association. If you are a hardwood floor manufacturer, there's a hardwood floor association. Literally, there's an association for pretty much any type of business or sport or hobby. And we are the North American Association for the Insights Industry. And so we have, our constituency really includes the individual professionals and the companies at large within the space. That mission sits atop four sort of pillars for being. So we have what we call them the four pillars of member value: protect, connect, inform, and promote. The protect pillar is arguably the most important one. A large reason for IA existing is to protect the industry and inform and advocate for the industry. And to do that, we have a full-time lobbyist in Washington, D.C. His name is Howard Feinberg. He's been here for quite a long time. He meets regularly with legislators on the Hill to discuss potentially harmful legislation that could end up in bill format that might hinder the work of the insights community. Historically, market research has been erroneously intertwined with telemarketing and direct marketing, and legislators need to be educated about the differences between the two. And so IA has done a very good job of making that happen. Most notably on the West Coast last year, we saw a big legislative win. California had a bill called AB 2257, which would have required respondents, meaning people from the public that participate in surveys. We've all heard about that, right? Can do this survey, you know, we'll give you $5 or we'll give you a Starbucks gift card. And that bill wanted to classify those respondents who would normally just receive their incentive for their survey and their time and move on, wanted to classify them as actual employees, which would have been really detrimental to the business or to anyone doing business in the state of California. So we saw a big win there through, you know, an amendment to that bill that we wrote with the help of our Government and Public Affairs Committee, et cetera. And then alongside the government and legislative work that we do, we have a code of standards and ethics for the insights industry. And membership within the association is contingent upon adherence to this code. Excuse me. So it's all about being ethical, conducting research properly, protecting respondent information, personal data, that sort of thing. And so this code is a living document. It was actually just quite heavily revised less than a year ago so that it stays current and it stays aligned with other global insights associations codes. The second pillar is connect. This is largely tied to networking and, you know, the fostering of relationships that the Insights Association does. It's largely done through events. Obviously, in-person events usually include some sort of networking, you know, cutouts of time or opportunities. But we also have, as you all know, I'm sure we have local chapters, one of which being our West chapter, our West regional chapter, which includes the state of California and the whole Western seaboard, really. So lots of local opportunities there to meet with colleagues, either peers, you know, of your own age or, you know, some industry leaders that have been around in the community for quite a while. The inform pillar is largely tied to learning and professional development. both at the national and chapter level of the association throughout the year, in person, virtually, through other vehicles like benchmarking surveys and public forums. We are here, the Insights Association first and foremost is a content-driven association. So our mission is to compile and curate really relevant, timely content for the industry that's going to help people pursue their professional development goals, as well as drive growth in the business of the industry. So we funnel this content out in various ways, and that's our inform pillar. And then promote, of course, is to promote the industry and its members to enable business growth. So with membership, there are opportunities to garner a certification for your professional development. We've got a Blue Book, which is a sort of an online, e-directory of the industry. It's been around for quite a while. National and international partnerships with other insights related associations, both here in the US. There are quite a few here in the US. They're a little bit more niche than the Insights Association, usually a little bit more focused on a specific area of the industry. And then we've got some global partners that we align with. The Market Research Society is one big one, for example. They're sort of our sister association in the United Kingdom. So always looking to promote the industry through those types of partnerships, as well as promote the industry to those outside of it. Because market research and insights and data analytics, they're pretty vague terms to a lot of people that haven't been involved. And so it's our job to sort of help educate those in other industries and outside the scope of what we do every day as to who we are, what we do, and why we do it. So please excuse the blindness of this slide. It just was not cooperating with me graphically. But this is just a quick snapshot of some of the benefits that you'll receive as a student member. And I think you're all aware at this point that we do offer complimentary memberships to students in the Insight space in an MMR program. Something like the AMI Club is a perfect fit here. So you've got access to the education and training I mentioned earlier. A lot of it is complimentary in virtual format. Most of those virtual events, webinars, virtual town halls, that sort of thing. We do record and archive all of them, so they're accessible behind the members only wall of the website. The professional development piece I mentioned earlier, we offer a certification called IPC, or an Insights Professional Certification. It's a distinctive indicator of your dedication to the Insights practice. Usually once you've been in the industry for a couple of years, there are 3 different levels, just depending on your level of experience and your time in the industry. And it's quite easy to obtain in the sense that you don't need a ton of credit hours from outside the Insights Association. A lot of our educational events and conferences will do double duty and count towards the credits needed to retain that certification, along with passing an exam. Chapter membership, as I mentioned before, I think this is probably going to be the single most easily utilized piece of your membership. With membership in the Insights Association, you then are afforded a single membership in any chapter of your choosing. I think some of you have signed up for membership already. I saw a few of them come in last night from Cal Poly. So if you have, you saw on that form that you could select the chapter of your choosing. Most likely that'll be the West chapter for most of you, since it's geographically closest. And the chapters provide year-round networking, educational events at more of a local regional level. So while we here at the national arm of the association, we do sort of a few bigger, big city events every year. We just had a 350-person event, our annual conference in Philadelphia a couple of weeks ago. It's not always realistic for people to get to, especially when they're 3 days in length and you're out of school for that long. So the chapters do a really nice job of hosting sort of often smaller events, evening stuff that, you can go for an hour and have a drink and meet with some people and make some new connections. So a great thing to utilize there. And then, as I mentioned earlier, with your membership, you've got access to the content behind the members only wall of our website. So once you have this little join here, will take you right. It's a very simple form. If you haven't done it already, it's essentially just your contact information. It will ask you to upload a copy of a valid student ID so that we can verify that you are in fact a student and qualify for a free membership. Once you submit that form, within about 24 hours, you'll receive an onboarding/welcome email from us. It'll walk you through, it'll give you a couple of links and prompts to walk through the finalization of your personal member account. You'll create login credentials. And then once you've logged in, you'll see the members only content there. There's lots of good stuff. Articles on the industry, what's happening now, latest methodologies, updates on any legislative activity that people want to have on top of their radar, white papers, memos, and we do put out a bi-monthly newsletter. So very current in terms of what's happening. That'll include a calendar of events at the chapter level as well. And then I added these slides here. I know some of you are probably familiar with this also. So another big and somewhat more recent addition to the Insights Association's portfolio is a really focused and concerted effort around DE&I. And so in 2020, we formed what we call our IDEA Council. IDEA stands for Inclusion, Diversity, Equity, and Access. It's a large, very active committee that has a lot of good stuff in the works around DE&I. And probably wouldn't surprise you to know that there is research around, obviously, aside from sort of what's going on in the world over the last couple of years, this is overdue for that reason as well. But there is also research around market research and insights and data analytics firms doing and producing better work and better insights and better research when they have a more diverse staff. And so we want to bring in people that normally are not as well represented in this particular industry. The industry, in the time that I've been with this association, which is quite a while, I have seen it change. It was historically older white male for a long time. I've seen it change in a great way over the years. When I attend our conferences and other industry events, I see much nicer diversity across the board. There is still some room, obviously, for change and improvement, particularly as we get to the senior levels within some of these businesses, the C-suite, upper management, et cetera. So our IDEA Council has put together what we're calling the Ideator program. This is our internship/fellowship program. I won't read through all of the text here, and I'll make sure that you all get a copy of this deck after today's call so you have it on hand. But it is a 12-month paid internship program. The interns will do 6 months at one company and then rotate for 6 months to a second company. Kicks off in July, so it'll be July through January, and then January through July, 6 months and 6 months. We've got 6 host companies in place so far that will actually have the interns in-house working for them. We're just finalizing a partnership with a staffing firm that will sort of manage all the logistics and the day-to-day. And then we've got sponsors that have just been wonderful and have backed this program and believe in it so much that they have decided to sponsor and donate some funds to all of the many details and hours of work that go into putting this together. This is an immersive learning opportunity, a great way to get involved and really get an inside feel for how this industry works and a better sense of where you might want to go within your career. So I thought I would put that in here. Everything is on the website, of course. There's a full Ideator section on the website. And then if you actually are interested in becoming an Ideator and applying for one of these internship positions, you can either link here from the deck once you receive it, or you'll see that same link on the website. Pause and ask if anyone has any questions.
I have a question.
Sure, Jamin.
Is that you guys recently did a salary review for the industry? Is that something that's published that the student body may benefit from?
Yeah, so that is thanks. That's actually a great point. We have a compensation survey that was on hiatus for the last couple of years. It was sort of revamped, retooled a bit. We got some feedback on the last edition a couple of years ago about how to improve it. how to improve response rates. That survey is conducted among only the corporate the provider side or agency side members of the association, and the results are generally only shared with them. However, I think that's a good point for the students. So let me go back and see about sharing those results, or at least a summary of the results with this group. And it should be published, I believe, within the next month or so. So pretty decent timing there. But yeah, that would fall in line with everything else we're talking about. Thank you.
Yeah, and that's super beneficial if you're thinking about a career in this space to understand what the pay bands are by job function.
Absolutely.
I have one question, Nicole. Is the internship program just for undergrads, or can it be open to people outside?
It is open, and the parameters, and I apologize, and if anyone has detailed questions, you'll see a link to a specific inbox that my colleague Charlene Darko, who mans the program from a staff perspective, will answer for you. But it is quite open. The parameters are quite broad. There's not even a requirement for an actual degree, but similar, corresponding experience. So I think undergrads as well as grads. And I apologize, there's some noise happening outside right now.
For sure. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions I could answer? Well, if anyone does think of anything, I will, Joseph, should I send this deck to you to then distribute to everyone?
Yes, please. I'll forward it to everyone's email.
That would be great. I'll send you the deck as well as a couple of pertinent links that you might want to take a look at on the website. The link, of course, to join, and a link to a bit more detailed info on the Ideator program.
For sure. I'll make sure to forward that to everyone.
Perfect. All right.
Yeah, Nicole, and if you have that link handy on the join, you might want to just drop it in chat so people can take advantage of it right now.
Yeah, let me do that.
The West chapter has an objective. We were beat this last year by sheer number of members on the East Coast. So in order to beat them, which we will do.
I see your motive there, Jamin.
We're hoping each one of you will take 5 minutes and for free.
Absolutely. It's less than 5 minutes. It's probably 60 seconds to complete the form. If you have to dig out your student ID, it might
60 seconds to change your life.
Super easy. Give it about 24 hours. We actually it's a little bit of a manual process. So we'll actually go in and verify your student ID, and then you'll receive that welcome/onboarding email. It's free. No reason not to do it. Take advantage. You'll be added to our communications list. So you'll receive updates on industry happenings, legislative events, conferences, webinars, that sort of thing. You'll see, like I said, quite a bit of the virtual content is offered free for members. And that form, that join form, will also ask you to select the chapter of your choosing. Be sure to select the West chapter. So you'll be added then to their membership roster, and you'll get communications from us and from them about what's happening within the chapter as well. So, all right. Well, thank you again for having me. And if you have any questions, you'll see my email address on the last slide of that deck, Joseph, when you distribute it to everyone. So feel free to reach out to me directly as well if you have any questions.